So Phoebe and I came back home and we had to plan ourselves. We also had to prepare Phoebe herself.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we had to get her a small doll.
We got a doll saying that there's baby in mommy's tummy.
Exactly. And sort of to give her that mental preparation as to knowing that there's another child. Also reassured Phoebe. I told her that, Phoebe, we are having,
a baby.
We're having your brother today. You know, she didn't really understand it, but she was just, you know, typical.
Say, okay, yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome back once again to Thrive with the Labour Room Diaries. And as always, if you're new on our channel, I am Felix.
And I'm Olanike.
And we're really delighted to have you join us. Thank you once again for staying tuned to our channel. Thank you for watching our videos. Thank you for also subscribing and sharing, liking our videos. If you haven't subscribed yet and have just come across our channel, please subscribe, put on your notification bell so you can be notified when we drop our new videos. Previous weeks ago, we started a topic about my experience in the labor room.
Yes.
And
so
part one was about what?
It was about period leading to that moment, the preparations, the period of you getting ready for to be a dad.
Yeah.
Like the first time and the second time around.
Exactly.
So the part two was talking about your experience with our first child, Phoebe.
That was right in the labor room.
Right in the labor room. Yeah, the labor room experience from your own perspective for Phoebe.
Yeah.
So in this third part, we'll be talking about your experience in the Labour Room Diaries for Joshua, who is our second child, our son.
Exactly. So Joshua is our second child, like my wife had rightly say, was born on the 8th of June 2024, and I'll be sharing my experience in the labor room with Joshua. So let's dive straight into it.
Yeah, so what would you say was, do you think that there was like a difference between your experience with the first child? Were you more nervous or less nervous? Were you more prepared than the first time around?
Well, obviously, because with Joshua, I'd already got an experience with Phoebe, and the preparation was quite smoother as compared to Phoebe, because then, you know, it was our first child. There was not much experience at that time.
Yes.
So with Joshua, I already had an experience as to what the expectations were, and also realistically what I should be, you know, we should be working towards, or what we should
expect in the labor room. Yes.
In the labor room. But then also I thought of, you know, what could be the worst case scenario. We had all of this all planned out and discussed about it, similarly with what we did with Phoebe. Now, just to talk about the preparation, do you want me to talk about the preparation on the day of the labor, or just a few days before?
So let's start from a few days before, because obviously I had like an induction planned.
Yes.
So we had like a potential date in mind. So what was your preparation leading to that day?
Leading to the induction. Well, first we had been to the hospital and we already knew when your induction would be.
Yes.
And that was, I think, a day before when Joshua was born.
Yes, a day before.
And so the preparation was to, you know, get our mental health straight in terms of reassuring you and telling you everything was going to be fine, it's going to be fine. And also because I knew you were having, is it Braxton Hicks contraction then?
Yes, I was already having it at that time.
Yeah, so it was more or less giving you that support as to things is going to be fine, don't worry, we're going to have this child and all that. But before then, before the induction, we also had to prepare Phoebe herself.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we had to get her a small doll.
We got a doll saying that there's baby in mommy's tummy.
Exactly. And sort of to give her that mental preparation as to knowing that there's another child coming to be part of the family.
I don't think she fully understood that until it happened.
Actually. But the good thing was, yes, she did understand it. She understood it when it happened.
Yes, when it happened.
I know we took a picture and we're going to put the picture. I think it's actually a short video of Phoebe cuddling Joshua.
And meeting him for the first time.
Meeting him for the first time.
So
it was really, really sweet.
And amazing.
Really, really sweet. Yeah. Now, back to the preparation, the day of the induction. We went to the hospital, and then when we got to the hospital, we were told that, you know, you weren't, or they weren't going to induce you anymore because you had already started dilating, that we should go home and come back the following day, which was the 8th of June when Joshua was born. So yes, we went to the hospital on the 8th of June. in the morning. And as soon as we got to the hospital on the 8th of June, we were told you were, so you went, I stayed at the car park with Phoebe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Phoebe was with me in the car. You went into the,
to the triage.
so the triage area, yes. You went to the triage area. And as soon as you got there, they assessed you and they said you were dilated. You are 4 cm dilated. You have started dilating or something like that.
So what was your thought in the car while I was...
So immediately you went, so after you got that news and you said to, because you went with your bag and all your stuff, so you said to me that you weren't going to come back and join us in the car, that you were told to stay because it started dilating. I said, oh, that's fantastic. That was good news because we knew that the labor could progress. The good thing for us was we had a family friend, you know, who is a midwife as well, that worked in the hospital. So we were really, really, you know, lucky to have her.
She was great.
She was really great, and thank you if you're watching this video. We're incredibly grateful to you. Yeah, Nick and I are really, really grateful. Thank you for your support. So she was there with you on that day, and you guys shot some videos. You took some videos of you, and so basically on the 8th, when you had told us, I reassured you we had a simple prayer, and then I told you I was going to go home with Phoebe. So we went back home. So Phoebe and I came back home. And we had to plan ourselves. I got every bits and bobs, you know. At that time, I already knew what to expect. I took food, snacks, water,
charger,
change of clothing. You also requested a few sanitary wares for me to bring. I packed everything that we could pack, and I also sorted Phoebe out. Phoebe's food, change of clothing for Phoebe and stuff, because your friend graciously told us that we could bring Phoebe to stay with her. That's your best friend. And so Phoebe, so when I'd finished packing, before I left home, I did a short prayer, and my prayer was that, Father, you know, God should make everything smooth and lovely for us. And then I rang you. I said to you, how are things going with you? You said, it's fine, that's fine. So I got in the car, got Phoebe all prepared. Also reassured Phoebe. I told her that, Phoebe, we are having, we're having your brother today. You know, she didn't really understand it, but she was just, you know, typical.
Okay, yes.
Exactly. Typical 2-year-old. Nothing fancy really. So she just, you know, she giggled. So I dropped her off at your friend's place, and then I came to meet you at the hospital.
Yeah, so what was the experience like in the labor room? You coming to the labor room, know that you've had that experience before with Phoebe. Was it like a different feeling coming in to say, okay, or were you like having good expectation or more relaxed? What was your feeling like?
Well, my feeling was, first, I was delighted. I was happy that we were having a new child, and I also had mixed feelings as to the memory of you pushing everything just came back to my head again. You know that emotional intensity and all those kind of stuff. So, but then when I got back to the labor room on the 8th of June, I got back towards mid-afternoon. And as soon as I got in there, the midwives were kind enough. We had student midwives as well. And
she was great.
Yes.
I can't remember her name.
I can't recall her name.
Claire or Amy? I
know, but if you're watching this video, if you're the student midwife that was there for Nika and I when we had Joshua, thank you very much.
We
and please
appreciate you.
Give us a shout out as well, or just give us a thumbs up, or just comment and say to us you're the one. And, you know, we're incredibly grateful to you, as well as incredibly grateful to the team. You know, the midwives and everybody, the doctors, and you know, pretty much everybody, to the support staff and everyone that really looked after us when we had Joshua. So as soon as I got back, you know, set up everywhere in the labor room. You had a playlist of songs.
Yes, we had a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, so I came with a Bluetooth speaker as well. I did set it up like a small DJ, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was cozy. It was relaxing.
It was
really good.
It was. And we started snacking on
and you had that one corner in the room where you did set up your things.
I did
and it was just funny. I was like, well, this is different from the first one, because the first one was just like pam. Everything was just like very timely and very like on point. There was no time for any setup or any like
well, we didn't have that much experience, but this time around, you know.
And I think the circumstances was a bit different.
It was quite different.
This was like more relaxing. And I remember we had like we shoot some videos,
we did shoot some TikTok videos, because even you were at that time between 4 5 cm dilated, and you were still very much you had
active,
contractions going on, you know. But then we did some videos, and you also shot videos with a family friend, like I did mention before, and we will try and put the videos that we shot in our video in this video as well. So it was really nice. And now fast forward to the moment of delivery. So Joshua was born 9:09 p.m. on the 8th of June 2024, and so shortly before then, when you were fully dilated, the midwives came. The student midwife also came, supported you. They set up all their stuffs, all the necessary gadgets they needed. They had everything set up. I'd also set up my own little space waiting for the baby. Also for in terms of drinks and all that.
Yes. So I think you were trying to like get me some Lucozade.
Actually, I got it. So we had drinks set up like Lucozade and all this energy boosting.
I remember I had a lot of fluids.
You had. You did eat though. You ate a bit. I think shortly after I arrived, towards mid-afternoon on the 8th. But then you were just taking fluids. And the real push period where you were fully dilated. It's really an emotional moment, because at that time, although I knew what to expect, because I'd already seen that, I'd experienced that with Phoebe, but it wasn't, honestly, if you're a man, one of the best moments I think for me is you being there with your partner to support them when they're having babies, because you would really that moment is really one of the best moments that's going to test your nerves, because it's really going to help you bond more if you can be part of it. Takes a lot of bravery though, and oftentimes I get friends say to me, oh, it's because you're an healthcare professional, that's why I don't think it has to do with profession or anything like that. It's just about mindset and you being there to support your partner. So the push experience, the groaning, the pain, the intensity, everything. But the good thing was it was much better compared to Phoebe. And the journey in terms of delivery was faster as well. Because I think that tends to happen with childbearing and changes to the body and all. And anyways, you're going to talk about your pregnancy journey in one of our videos.
Very interesting bit of topic. Very interesting, dramatic in a way.
It is.
Especially with Phoebe, it was dramatic.
It was.
It was dramatic. Anyways, so like in terms of the difference in what you felt from Phoebe's delivery, I mean, like at that point, what would you say was the difference in your feelings?
Well, in terms of when we had Phoebe, my expectations were not. It was quantifiable, but it was much better with Joshua, if I could use that word, because we already have a child. I knew Joshua was coming, and I knew what to expect. I knew, okay, we were going to have an SVD, spontaneous vaginal delivery. We were going to have a son. We had an idea of the weight, then, and we also thought about what could be the worst case scenario. If you're going to have tears or, episiotomy or something like that. I kind of had all of that in my head. But then because we've also talked about what you will want pharmacologically. So if you want medications or you want epidural, I knew you had the gas and air.
On that note, I know you mentioned in our previous video. That was holding your hand and sucking it. So did I do that again?
Get ready.
No. This time around, it wasn't as bad as before. Should I use the word bad? Or it wasn't as intense like before. This time around, it was more fairly okay.
I think I probably held it like most of the time until I got to a point that it was like that moment.
You got to a point where you wanted to push. So when you got to the moment where you wanted to push was when I edit for you, compared to with Phoebe where I edit for God knows how long I edit for. So at that time you said to me you still had the energy, so you edit and I edit for you right when you wanted to push. And as soon as Joshua came out, the midwives did their thing, and it was after that there were health issues which I would want you to talk about in the pregnancy journey video. That would be nice for you to sort of feel free to mention it and talk about it in detail for our audience. And so please, if you like our video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, tell us your own experience. If you're a man and you've experienced being in the labor room, it would be nice to hear from other men or other guys out there on what their experiences were. It would be nice. So please use the comment section.
Especially if they're like second-time experience.
Exactly.
Like what the difference was.
Exactly.
Was it similar to the first one? Or what are the things they found different? Or they found like very strange or weird in the second time?
Yeah, and I know one question folks had asked me is, what made me decide to stay in the labor room with my wife? Well, two things. First is, she's my wife. and we were one.
We started it together.
So we started it together. we decided we were going to have babies. So there's no point having, not being there. I had to be there. I wanted to experience it. And then also because I'd taking deliveries by myself, being a nurse, and that kind of stuff. So I kind of have a fair understanding of what to expect. But then this is my wife. It's completely different. It's not a patient. It is my wife.
There are emotions involved.
That emotions is very much different. However, you don't have to be a healthcare professional like myself. You just got to be someone who can support your partner, because that support is really, really important. It is really, really important. You will get called all manners of names. Honestly, it could probably just be an emotional thing at that time with your partner. It doesn't mean they hate you or dislike you as a man. And
especially with the gas and it can be very intoxicating. That you just
the side effect is not too cool, isn't it?
Yeah, so one of the side effects is like delirium kind of symptoms. So you, as a man, you need to understand that what they're saying at that period is not like is what they really mean. It could just be out of like a fragment of what they think. So it's not totally like what they feel. Because some people like hold it against their partner, which is not fair.
It's not fair, because everything that happens during delivery is a completely different phase. You've got to really understand it. And like I did mention in the part one of our video, as a man, one of the first things you must do is to understand your wife or your partner's body, because that's really crucial. Understanding their past medical history, everything about their health gives you a very good understanding of what to expect on that day. So we had Joshua was born with 3.64 kilos. And after a while, we spent about an hour or 2 hours in the labor room.
And I had a shower.
You had a shower. That was the difference. This time around, my wife's body was top. After the delivery, after a while, it was, she had a shower.
It was really nice.
She looked after herself. She cleaned up. I also cleaned up the environment. And then we got transferred early hours of
9.
So Joshua was born 9:09 p.m. on the 8th. So early hours of the 9th. I think it was probably around 3
midnight,
3 a.m. thereabouts. Then we got transferred to the postnatal ward, where then everything, the postnatal team were also very great and very lovely with us. And fast forward, we only spent...
and I think you had to go home because they said there wasn't like a space for you in the postnatal ward.
Oh no, so yes. So when we got to the postnatal ward, yes, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. When we got to the postnatal ward and you were settled, I left the postnatal ward around 6 o'clock in the morning.
So they said there wasn't a space for you to like, unlike the labor room where you had a corner to yourself.
So it was like we had other women in the postnatal unit. So, and obviously these are women that have just given by themselves. So I couldn't stay, but I was with you for a few hours. To settle and all that. And then I came back home. And Phoebe was still with
my friend,
my wife's best friend. And so I came home. I had a nap for an hour thereabout. And then in the morning I had to go to the postnatal unit to see you. And the experience was really, really cool. After I got there and I knew you were settled, I went to pick Phoebe. Then Phoebe saw Joshua for the first time, really delighted. We would put a picture as well on the video that we did.
It was really sweet and amazing time. So thank you again for joining us on this video. If you're father out there and you're about to experience like the the delivery room the second time. We wish you the best.
We wish you the best.
We wish you the best. So as seasoned fathers out there, if there's one thing you would advise people that are going to delivery room the second time, please drop it in the comment section. We'd love to know. We have friends and family also that are like first-time fathers or planning to be, so they will also learn and gain some insight from you.
Exactly. Yeah, so please don't forget to use our comment section, and we love you. We're going to be wrapping this up on the fourth part,
which is the concluding part.
The concluding part of this series that we started a few weeks ago on my experience in the labor room. Stay tuned to our channel. Don't forget to like and share our video with your loved ones. Subscribe, put your notification bell so you can be notified when we drop new videos. I will love you till we see you next time. Bye-bye. The first two set of people that look forward to me are my children. You know, yes, others out there can fancy me being their mentor and all those kind of stuff, but honestly, they are not as important as compared to my children.